Okay, so I'm going to be going over the Oakland Roots Sustainability Report, starting off with the intro and going over the main topics. Climate change has negatively impacted ecosystems and people, with the frequency of extreme weather events increasing. And society is going to need to reduce their carbon emissions to combat this. So, throughout the world, those in higher income areas are contributing more to this and being affected less, and vice versa. In lower income areas, they're contributing less to the issue and being affected more. Now, in red line areas, these are areas dedicated for industrial and commercial facilities. These areas have poor air quality, and they are in communities of color more likely than not. So there are many initiatives to educate people on this topic. The three main approaches being action, education, and partnerships, and they all entail community gardens, urban tree planting, community-backed waste processing facility, and incentivizing eco-friendly modes of transportation. So I'm going to be going over all of these categories and breaking them down individually. So let me scroll to my first paper, starting with action. So community-based projects, environmental and health benefits, strategic gardening. So strategic gardening to combat the bad air quality, obviously. Biocapture, integration, long-term care. Moving into modes of transportation, home game incentives. This is encouraging biking, walking, public transport, and carpooling. So ride sharing, taking BART, some sort of public transport, because this is going to make sure that there's the least amount of carbon in the atmosphere. When sporting is going on, this encourages a lot of carbon going into the atmosphere. So when it comes to away game transport, making sure you're taking a team bus as opposed to taking a bunch of individual cars. Once again, more carbon versus less carbon. So moving into waste management, on-site recycling programs, making sure that there's recycling centers available so people are recycling instead of throwing the trash on the ground. Making sure that it's aligned with the city's goals. The city has zero waste initiatives, so like I said, trash cans everywhere. Economic and community impact, so reduces facility costs and creates local job opportunities. Moving into the education category. So, fan engagement in games during the games. So, fan knowledge, quizzes and prizes as incentives, things of that sort. Social media campaigns to promote sustainability messages and encourage their goals and encourage their message, I guess. Gardening education. So we talked about the gardens in the community, but basically gardening classes, making sure that people kind of understand gardening, if that's something they're interested in, if that's something they want to get into. So social media updates on gardening projects. App-based incentives. So this is using fitness tracking apps to reward fans for walking. So and encouraging that sort of thing. Moving into waste disposal. So community forum. A new section of the club's website for volunteer coordination, sustainability updates, and highlighting standout community contributors. Okay, moving into the partnerships category. General partnership strategy, so goal alignment, community-based focus, focus on climate change and environmental equity in San Leandro. So that's the gardens. Encouraging people to take BART. So that kind of summarizes all of that, and I'm running out of time here. I only have 30 seconds. There's a lot to cover, but my final paper is going well. I have done my topic. I've begun the paper. I don't have my interview and my codes yet, but I'm about to begin that soon. I have done the introduction to my final paper, and I'm going to start preparing the abstract and the presentation that I have to do. So that summarizes that. And there we go, 5 minutes.